can life insurance truly become type of investment that can build generational wealth for you and for your family? That's what I'm going to talk about in this episode, so stay tuned. Hey everybody, my Scribian. Thank you for joining. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't yet and share the video. Today I want to talk about and elaborate a little bit more of understanding life insurance and how can you use life insurance if you buy enough coverage, proper type of policy, and you look at that policy, keep it for long time because this is a long-term investment. Can that truly build generational wealth for you and for your family? And the answer is yes. If you buy correct type of policy and you have reasonable coverage and you understand this is a long term and you don't cancel the policy, you stick to it for long period of time, that definitely can build big generational wealth for rest of your generation that is coming up. Many people that buy life insurance, they just don't calculate the numbers correctly. And being in the industry for many years, what I've seen happen, uh, if those individuals or those families bought a life insurance and they didn't renew it for many years, I've seen policies 10 years old, 15 years old, and they bought these policies 15 years ago based on that current situation or based on that current timing of how much affordability they had, or they calculate the numbers at that time, however lifestyle they had. But when 15 years passes by, family situation change, their income changes, their liabilities changes, many things changes, and you need to really sit down and review your policies. I've seen people bought policies 15, 20 years ago, 100,000, 250,000, and maybe at that time it was enough coverage. But those numbers doesn't make sense in most cases in today's timing. Why? Because life is getting expensive, people's income changes, people's liabilities and debt changes, and just like anything in life, you need to renew it time to time. You need to upgrade it. So if you have a life insurance, congratulations. I always say it's better than somebody who doesn't have anything at all, but it doesn't end there. What I would recommend, sit down with a professional licensed agent and review your policy. If you don't know anybody or your agent maybe is no longer in a business, I'll be happy to do that for you. Direct message me and then I'll be happy to sit down with you. We can do it on one-on-one appointment. I do appointments on Zoom. I'll be happy to review your policies and give you some feedbacks. Should you increase the coverage? Maybe you can upgrade it. Maybe you can get double coverage for the same premium you're paying currently. There's many changes. Now, that's for people who have it. Now, if somebody doesn't have a life insurance, I encourage you to buy a life insurance ASAP. Why? Because especially if you have a good health at this moment, this is the best time to lock your rate and get a good coverage before anything bad happens. Now, going back to building generational wealth with life insurance. If you understand how life insurance concept works, you can definitely run the numbers and calculate it correctly. And if you're a long-term thinker, those numbers will always work in your favor, because if you buy big coverage, enough coverage, and you understand that you stick to that policy 15, 20, 30 years, sometimes permanently, the amount of money you pay into the policy and how much you can leave for your kids, for your next generation wealth, most of the time it's going to transfer a lot of wealth to your next generation, and you teach them what to do with this money, invest it properly. They buy a correct amount of policy, and that circle, that cycle can repeatedly continue, and your family will completely be financially in different level if you teach them properly. Now, if you want to know how this concept works, how I take somebody and calculate how much coverage they need to have, how these formulas work, because yes, there is a formula of calculating correct amount of coverage for each individual, for each family that needs to be bought, and I'll be happy to do that for you. But I can tell you one thing. Sometimes it takes one generation to change your financial future financially. The question is, if you came from a generation where they always struggle financially, but you're willing to make some changes, you're willing to learn the information, you're willing to, implement it, that can change the direction forever. I'm encouraging you, sit down with someone who knows and understands insurance industry. And like I said, if you don't know anybody, or maybe the agent who helped you to get a policy, they're no longer in a business, I'll be happy to assist you. Bring your policies, let's sit down and let's review it together. I'm a big believer that life insurance is a great product if you buy it properly, on time, and you understand the long-term benefits that can create for you and for your family. On the other hand, I've seen people, situations financially got destroyed because they didn't have a coverage. I've seen that happen many, many times. When I look back in my career, maybe 15, 20 years ago when I was new in the industry, I used to, in a sense, convince people that life insurance is good. But nowadays, that rarely happens. Why? Because people realize that this is a must product. This is something that every individual, every family gotta have in their financial portfolio. Why? Because they understand, hey, life is short, things happen, especially after COVID, people's mindset in some areas waked up. They're like, you know what, nothing is guaranteed in this life. And you gotta take this very seriously. Whether you're young or old, it doesn't matter. Every individual, every family must have some kind of a coverage. That's very, very important. And what I tell to a lot of my clients when they're buying a life insurance, I'm like, listen, this is not an expense. This is an investment for you and for your family. For more details, how I go over individuals and families and break down the amount of coverage they should buy, the type of policy, and all the details, just set up an appointment with me, direct message me. I'll be happy to do the same for you. All the consultations, it's free. I don't charge for it. Whatever product you buy, I explain the difference and I let you to make the choice yourself. But I highly, highly recommend you sit down with your family, make sure every single individual has some kind of a protection, because it's very, very important. I've seen in my life, in my career, many times families get destroyed, surprises happens where it's too late. Okay, so this was Mais Caribbean. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully some of the information will wake you up and it was useful. Share the video. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one. Take care.